Hello.
Hello.
We are back again. Welcome back to
Back again. Taylor's back. Tell your friend. All right, we're off to a great start today. Hi, guys.
Hi. I am feeling very, very loopy right now and tired
She's been up for a
because
long time.
life update. I'm employed now. I have a job.
That's what we're drinking the champs for, guys.
Yes. So today is Wednesday as we are recording this at around 5 o'clock.
Yes, we're both post corporate world. Actually, I don't work in the corporate world. I'm a hairstylist, but we're post corporate jobs, guys. Working for the man.
Post working for the man. And we are now about to do some recapping of last night's episode of Vanderpump Rules. Episode 8?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that makes
someone
sense.
said we have 8 left.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, because we did maybe less than that though, because when Andy Cohen gave the update after episode 7, he was going to film the reunion and he goes, I had just binged the final 7 episodes. So we really are halfway through the season now.
Wow, this feels like a really short season.
Yeah, very short season. So, and I'm sure we'll find out at the reunion whether or not we're even going to get another season.
I don't know. I'm sticking to my guns that the reunion's going to go one of 2 ways. And if it goes one way, the show is over. Because I don't think anyone's going to want to film with each other anymore. And it sounds like Lala and Sheena are working very hard to jump on the Valley train, which I think is dumb because I really don't think that show is going to last past its 8 episodes.
Yeah, I kept going back and forth with myself last night on whether or not to even bother recapping the first episode of The Valley. But I'll be honest, there's really not much to recap. So maybe I'll just do it and I'll make it a quick 5-minute segment because like I said, granted it is the first episode. There's plenty of drama from what I've seen in the previews.
Yes, the second trailer they put out enticed me more than the original trailer. But 5 minutes of Jax Taylor on my television was enough.
He was annoying.
I couldn't even handle the 5 minutes of him on Vanderpump, and I was not about to torture myself with an hour more.
Yeah,
of him speaking.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick second just to see, any tea of the week for this past week.
Lala bought a house.
Yeah, apparently Lala bought a house in the Valley. Gee, I wonder why.
It's a very expensive house, and I don't understand it because they're very clearly buying houses out of their price range. Your book was not a New York Times bestseller, so you can't be getting that much from it.
She's rebranding Give Them Lala.
You're rebranding Give Them Lala, which is not, it's not like it's in beauty stores. It's not like I'm looking at it at Ulta or Sephora. I think their podcasts don't make that much money, right? Anyone who's not in the Vanderpump sphere is not listening to her podcast. Let's be honest. People are not, and same with Sheena's podcast and Katie and what's her name? You're not listening to it if you're not a Vanderpump person. It's not like a true crime documentary. You know what I mean?
That's pretty true.
So I think they're buying houses out of their price range, and I don't see how she's going to afford this 6-bedroom house, mind you. This house and also her Palm Springs house. And if we're buying this house in the hopes that it lands us on another reality show, that is not a very smart gamble.
Well,
you're also having another child.
Well, that's the thing. I think part of it might have to do with having the second child.
I mean,
but
that's
also,
fine.
I think that I feel like nobody would be buying a house that confident, even though it's not set in stone that there's multiple seasons in the works. I feel like when networks sign these contracts and they give out these deals for shows, there's going to be more than one season out of it. They're not going to cap it at one. That's what I'm thinking. That's my prediction, at least, on what's going to end up happening. I don't see how the show is going to have longevity. I'll get into that later on my Valley segment, but I have my own thoughts.
It's a beautiful house, but it's a very cookie-cutter Valley house. It looks exactly like Jax and Brittany's and Ariana and Tom's and Katie and Tom's old house. It's very similar. I honestly, my favorite out of all the Vanderpump houses is Stassi's. It's got character. It's not, it's older. It's got it's a better. Stassi's house is just the better house.
Does Stassi live in the Valley?
No.
Oh.
No, she lives Valley adjacent, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But up in that area. I don't know. I'm assuming her mom is moving in with her.
Obviously.
And maybe her brother. And then that's 2 more people to help pay for the house. Plus she gets child support for Ocean.
And then the assistant.
And the assistant. So I get it. I just think it's a very large gamble when you're, I don't know, maybe she's better with money than the rest of the cast. I don't know. It seems, I don't know. It seems like a big gamble. It's a very expensive house. Like, you could probably get a better, like, a house for that same size house in, like, a less high cost of living neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, maybe but, like, she probably bought it in the valley to be on the valley. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right. Which means Bravo probably helped her out with that, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form. I don't think that these people are all buying these houses and properties on their own.
No. Well, look, with the whole point, the show was going to transfer to Vanderpump Valley, like Stassi had mentioned on another podcast very recently.
And years ago, even, too.
Yes, years ago. She was talking about it. She was on another podcast very recently talking about it. So I have no doubt that they were all buying houses in that exact same neighborhood for the purpose of that show transition. And then it got put on the back burner, and now it's back. And now everyone is kind of focusing, which, honestly, I'm not going to lie. If the show shifted from Vanderpump Rules to the Valley and it had more Vanderpump cast in it, I think that I would be into it. Because it would be what it was supposed to be originally. But, like, as of right now, like, if it was just Kristen, I think I would watch it. But I, like, can't bring myself to listen to Jax Taylor ramble on for an hour. But, like, I think that's the only major tea this week is Lala bought a house. I didn't really see anything else noteworthy that we haven't already discussed in length here or there. The only other thing was the reunion filmed last weekend.
Yep.
Apparently there's a big blowout between Lala and Ariana at the very end. Allegedly it extended the reunion like another hour, half hour than it was supposed to go. Sheena Lala went mini golfing after. Ariana jumped on a red eye. Katie flew out to New York the next day. Katie saw her in Chicago. There's your news of the week. Tom is still the worst. Other Tom is still the worst. James is James. There you go. There's your tea of the week.
Yeah, pretty much. that was a nice way to kind of wrap the bow around it.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's also kind of weird, right? Because the last couple of weeks when all these headlines were coming out, things were just happening left and right. Lawsuit after lawsuit, and then Lala's baby and pregnancy, and then next thing you know, slow news week for the next 2 weeks. I'm like curious.
It makes me nervous that something big is going to happen all over again. You know what I mean?
Probably
like
what we're waiting for.
When it's quiet, it's like too quiet. And you're like, what the is going to happen? Oh, and then the other thing, I don't know if we've touched on this before, but Schwartz and Sandy's has shortened their menu. Now it is not a large menu. It is essentially drinks and like 5 appetizers.
It used to be a rather large menu when they first opened.
Yes, and the new tea that Taylor and I were discussing earlier today via Snapchat from my various work locations. The video of Jeremy, not Love Is Blind Jeremy, that would be a weird crossover. Jeremy, Ariana's brother, hugging Tom Sandoval at Jax's Studio City last night.
I was dumbfounded because when I first saw that video, I thought it was Luke, Kristen's boyfriend.
Yeah, that's
because that's how it looked from the back. Because you just see the back of him, you don't actually see his face in the video. And I went on with the rest of the day because I was at work, and I just left it alone. I put a poll up on the Instagram. I still actually have to go check it and see how we did. And then Sarah then confirmed to me when I was on my way home that it in fact was not Luke and it was Jeremy. And I don't know how I feel about this.
The interwebs confirmed it, aka was scouring Reddit in my slow time.
So, okay, we have to put ourselves now in the current timeline of things because obviously this is happening a year plus later.
Yes.
This leads me to believe that Ariana might be in some sort of a place now where she can now live slightly more peacefully.
I agree. I think
with Sandoval.
Her moving out and living an entire coastline away, I think is doing wonders for her. Mm-hmm. That being said, if that was my brother, you're dead to me. Dead to me. I don't even care how long it is. That is, but I will say that we don't know the context of it. We just see that clip of them hugging. Jeremy is apparently a bartender at Jax's little pop-up bar.
So where even is that bar?
It's adjacent to another bar.
In LA, right?
Yes, it's in Studio City. So do not let Jax fool you into thinking this is like a Schwartz and Sandy's or like a Sir. It's a pop-up at another already established bar. Okay? This man's out here boasting like he just opened Schwartz and Sandy's. He didn't. But Jeremy is a bartender there, and I almost want to give Jeremy the benefit of the doubt and say that Sandoval was Sandoval and just kind of pulled him in for a hug. You know, the way Sandy does, where he's like, hey, and then like hugged him, and Jeremy's like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to hug him. That's my hope and dreams, because as the older sister to a younger brother, if my younger brother did that to me, dead, gone, over. But that's what I'm choosing to give Jeremy the benefit of the doubt until confirmed otherwise. I wouldn't put it past Sandoval to see Jeremy working and just be like, oh my God, buddy, it's been so long.
Like, hey, I just happened to be in town and right up the block and figured I'd stop by.
Yeah. So that's the tea. That's the only other real like big scoop tea that I have to give. Otherwise, it was a very just generic week in the Vander sphere.
Yeah. On to episode 8.
Episode 8.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm freeballing this. I don't have any notes. I didn't take any notes last night when I watched the episode. I just felt a lot of anger and frustration.
Post pool party.
Oh, the sexy singles pool party.
Oh, do I have? Oh, that just reminded me of my thoughts. I'm gonna write my thought down because I learned. I said this to Taylor the other day. I have learned that I need to write my thoughts down when I have them and you're speaking because otherwise it's gonna go out of my brain real fast. And now it's gone already. Oh no, it's not. I'm just gonna write down Sheena.
Girl, you wrote it down.
Sheena pool party, and we'll come back to this thought later.
Mm-hmm.
I'll know exactly what that means. Yes, I think we open with the sexy singles pool party.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, either that or it was
there was like a quick James and Allie.
James and Allie. It was Lala and Katie's lunch. Was it not? It was Ariana was FaceTiming Katie getting ready. Katie and Lala had their lunch.
Yes, Lala apologized. Lala and Katie, they've quickly made up for the night before's fight, which we expected.
Yes.
Oh, that does remind me of some tea.
Okay.
So Lala had said in a podcast,
mm-hmm.
I guess last week after that episode.
Okay.
And Lala and Katie apparently, according to Lala, had a falling out before the season 10 reunion that they just couldn't really come back from, and the energy had been weird, according to Katie. No other further context as to what happened in this falling out. There was no explanation or not even an inkling of what it could have been and what the feelings were. And then Katie got asked about it on Watch What Happens Live last night,
mm-hmm.
and even she was like, I have no idea what she's talking about.
Was it during the season or after the season?
She didn't say. All they said was before the reunion.
That feels like Lala making shit up.
Probably.
For the fact of, or Katie said something and Lala decided that it was a slight against her like she likes to do. That feels like we're making drama for drama's sake.
And it's not even like they're on season. Like, she did this in her podcast just a week ago. So it's like, what is the incentive here?
The incentive is to get people talking and making them, because you know what? It feels like she's putting those seeds out there because the fallout is going to continue. They have apologized to each other at this lunch, but now it's going to continue because
this was pre-reunion.
Yes. So it just really feels like she is like, oh, we had this thing before, in between both seasons, because it's to plant this doubt that like this upcoming apology is going to be thrown to the wayside again because something else is going to happen. You know what I mean? And it doesn't seem far-fetched given how flip-floppy Miss Lala Lauren from Utah is.
Yep, and we'll go into that a little further later, but the pool party scene was just absolutely ridiculous. Who the fuck were all of these people? Billie Lee is trying very hard.
Oh my God.
Very, very hard.
Look up Pick Me Girl in the dictionary and it's fucking Billie Lee.
But it was weird how she did it because she basically tried to start it off by saying like, oh, have you met my friend T? So now we're being introduced officially to T, which means I'm sure we're going to see her again in the coming weeks because why the fuck won't we? tea, if you remember from last summer, was that girl that Sandoval had gone on like a couple of like dates ish
Oh,
with.
wee.
Yeah, and then it
Okay.
turns out she was like a singer trying to further her career or whatever.
wee.
She also came out on a podcast fairly recently saying like, "Oh, well, I met Ariana and she was
That
basically giving me
girl.
the heads up."
That
Oh,
girl.
she did this on Billie Lee's podcast.
It's that girl.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now I know. Yeah, no, that pool party was icky. I said this to you that I thought it was incredibly disrespectful to Ariana to be doing that in their shared home. Like, you don't see her like float and Dan around there. And I think Ariana has said before that when Dan's in town, they rent an Airbnb and they're not at the house together. But I think it was really grody. And I'm surprised that Schwartz even agreed with me. Schwartz said it last night that he left.
Oh, before he dipped, yeah.
Before he dipped, he said he didn't like it. It didn't feel right. And I thought that was a nice gold star moment for Schwartzy. And there's moments like that piss me off with him because he has the capability to be on the right side, and then he just back in the ocean with Sandy.
Yeah, and part of me believes that he's only not there at that pool party because it was being filmed, and he doesn't want the public to be seeing
like he's like siding with Sandoval.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It felt really grody. Watching Thomas flirt with those two girls he met at the bar the previous night. So this is the night after See You Next Tuesday.
And the way Billie Lee's heart broke the second he told her that he invited those girls.
Baby, he's never gonna pick you, okay? He's not gonna pick you. And I think you need to pull up your bootstraps, okay? Pack your bag and stop hitching your horse on this man, okay? Unhitch yourself from his baggage and book it, okay? Although she's not the best person in the world, so trash likes other trash, so.
I was going to say like seeks like, so.
Yeah, but it's so painful to watch her just like fawn over fucking Sandoval. Of all men in this world to fawn over, you're picking Sandoval.
She fumbled with Jeremy. She fumbled with
Jeremy would have been her and Jeremy would have been so cute. As I'm saying, when Billie Lee first came on the scene, that first season with her, I adored her. I thought she was a breath of fresh air. She was so sweet. I loved that she was getting to be her authentic self. She was finally, she's her true self. She was, an advocate for that part of the community where, the others don't touch. Because obviously everyone else, we have majority of the rainbow on the show. We just didn't have that color of the rainbow on the show. And I think I loved her in the beginning. I was like, yes, girl, go off. You're beautiful. She's beautiful. She seemed very kind and then she ruined it.
She really had the potential for a very powerful story arc, and then just shit the bed.
She had the potential to really be such an advocate for other trans people, and just like a nice breath of fresh air on the show, and then she went and was an asshole.
Yeah,
and then just like continued to be an asshole. And it's one of those things that when they show you who you are, believe them, and she has shown us who she is.
Speaking of when they show us who they are, we then have the next scene being, I'm pretty sure it was Sheena going to have that talk with Ariana. And Ariana finally, confronts her and is like, I'm hearing that you're, like, upset with me.
Yeah, babe, I hear you're upset with me. What's going on?
About, like, Dancing with the Stars? Like, and then they show the clip of apparently Ariana the day before getting lunch with Lisa. Lisa was the one who...
Lisa needs to get the fuck out of their issues. Lisa inserting herself.
She knew what she was doing. She's making a show.
That was the EP it was the EP in her. But it just felt really gross. Like, let the girls figure it out themselves. This narrative. Okay. And this is what I wanted to talk about last week that I don't think I talked about because I forgot about it.
Oh, yes.
This scene and this narrative of Ariana needing to have sympathy for Sheena is a brilliant example of what not to do, okay? So when there is a trauma, right, this is called the ring theory, and shout out to this one Redditor, I forget your name, reminded me of this, I want to talk about last week. when we were talking about it, the ring theory. So think of it as like a nuclear bomb explosion, okay? The epicenter is like the nucleus, right? Where it all starts. The person in that center can talk to everyone else in any other blast zone about this problem, right? And then anyone else in any sort of ring, so like the most outer ring or the most inner ring, can talk with the people in that ring, but nobody else. Like you can only speak with who's in that ring because otherwise it is disrespectful to the other people. Like the outermost ring should not be talking to the innermost ring and should definitely not be talking about it with the person in the center, right? So what Scheana is doing is not that, right? It is not Ariana's place to have sympathy for you wanting to be best friends with her ex. Right? You do not talk to the most center person about it. The person you should be speaking with this is Lala, Scheana, Katie. I meant Katie was in my brain and I said Scheana.
Well, Katie technically by the ring's definitions is somebody to go to. However, she wouldn't go to Katie because
she wouldn't. No, she
Katie's
wouldn't.
gonna speak some realism to her.
She is. But that's why that scene feels so icky because you know that she is wrong. Because it is not Ariana's place.
I think also that getting upset with Ariana because she didn't tell anybody at all about Dancing with the Stars because NDAs are a thing.
Her comment of be like was it in the confessional?
No, it was in her conversation with Lisa.
Oh yeah, do I just break my NDA?
And it came out in the after show. She literally didn't tell anybody.
No, she also didn't tell anyone about Chicago. Apparently,
no, she couldn't tell anybody about Chicago. No, but that's understandable.
Which is okay, but there are sometimes you can't tell your best friend something until you are absolutely 100% certain about said thing. Like that's just how life is, and I think these people are so engrossed and enmeshed with each other that they don't see logic, reason, good personal boundaries. And that's also why they have such a hard time with Ariana putting up boundaries because they don't understand the concept of boundaries. What do you mean I can't talk to you about this? Why didn't you tell me this? How dare you take this opportunity?
Like you're supposed to be my best friend after all that I've done for you and after how much I've been there for you.
That makes it sound transactional and that's also really gross.
Icky.
It's super icky. But that whole scene was really gross and I really think that Ariana handled that beautifully. But if I was Ariana, I would be watching this and taking real stock of my friendships because that is not somebody that I want to be friends with.
Scheana also did ask in this scene too, like, what if years go down the line and then, I decide, Tom has really done the work and I really want to explore being friends with him. I don't know, bitch. Ask me in 2 years from now, not 5 months later.
But also... You really think Tom Sandoval is going to put in the work?
Exactly.
He's a narcissist. In order to put the work in, he has to recognize his problems, and he's never going to do that.
No, it's all performative, and everybody's even saying that now, 9 months post-filming.
I saw a TikTok today. It was because Thomas in the after show was talking about how he was also taking dance lessons because he thought he was going to get Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, I saw that. That's hilarious.
And this person's TikTok, I'm sorry, I wish I could remember who it was. They showed, it was like Tom was on the top of the screen and she was on the bottom and she just pulled back and she goes, you see these two people? They are the same person. And I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. They are the same person. That's why they're friends. They're the exact same person. Everything is transactional to them. Everything is about them. And when it's not about them, they feel like it's the biggest light in the world. And how dare it not be about them? Why can't it always just be about them? Why can't they have their spotlight? And that's why they're friends. Because they're the same person. One of them just masks it a little better, and that one is Scheana.
Now you're reminding me again. Scheana then also came out on the Juicy Scoop podcast with Heather McDonald. Mm-hmm. I guess the reason why she felt like she was under the assumption that she would get the call from Dancing with the Stars was that I guess she was friends with everybody on, not this past season, but 2 seasons ago now.
Charlie D'Amelio,
the whole D'Amelio family, Gabby from The Bachelorette. Or The Bachelorette. Teresa Giudice. She knew all of these people. So she was...
friends with Teresa Giudice.
I don't fucking know, dude. Bravo people are gonna Bravo.
Yeah.
But, Bravo, fucking Bravo. And so, I guess she went to I want to say the finale. I don't remember what screening that she said she went to, but I guess she was being introduced to people in casting and like top executives at Dancing with the Stars. So it begs the question, right? Yes. Would Sheena have gotten the call had Sandoval never happened?
I don't know, because I don't know how much of that I believe coming out of Sheena's mouth.
This is true.
I think I would believe it if it was anyone telling me that but Sheena. But I have a hard time. I really do. I have a hard time believing that is the complete truth in regards to Sheena. I don't disagree that maybe she was talking to some Dancing with the Stars producers and casting people, but I don't pre-Scandival, Vanderpump Rules was invisible. Like, let's be honest. It was going to get canceled if not for Scandival.
This is true. We've already confirmed. Everybody has already confirmed that.
If they were going to pick a Bravo person, it was not going to be Sheena. It would have been a housewife. It would have been another Beverly Hills, or one of the New York people, or even
maybe at this point a Salt Lake.
Salt Lake, because Salt Lake had that big blowout. So I'm like 50-50 on this information, right? I think that there is some truth to it, but I think Sheena made it out in her head. She made the scenario in her head that it was something that it wasn't, and she feels slighted. And I think that's her big hang up on this Scandival, the Ariana taking it thing, was because in her head she already had it. Mm-hmm. So how dare you take it from me when it was in my grasp? Mm-hmm. You should have turned it down and said, don't take me, take Sheena. And like, that's not how that works. Mm-hmm. They didn't ask you, they asked her.
And they knew that more people were going to watch with Ariana than with Sheena.
I haven't watched a Dancing with the Stars season in like 10 years. And that was and I watched that. Actually, the last season of Dancing with the Stars I watched was Lindsay Sterling's season, because I adore her violin music. God.
When was she on?
With Jordan Fisher. Many, many moons ago. It was a couple years ago.
That's funny.
That was the last time I watched Dancing with the Stars, like, religiously every week. And Ariana being on it hooked me in. I was ready. I was there. I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. My girl's got a theater degree. I knew she was going to kill it. And she did. She slayed. And then also the fact that, like, Jason Mraz was on it. There's, like, more people this season on it that was, like, enticing me. But Ariana being on it pulled in a whole new group. And they had said it many times on Dancing with the Stars that it was more votes than they ever had before.
Yeah.
Because of who they picked to be on that season. And I guarantee, if Sheena had been on it, I wasn't going to watch. I would have watched, like, I wouldn't have watched it live. I would have watched, like, recap clips on YouTube of what her dance was. Mm-hmm. Because I don't care about her enough to, like, I doubt anyone.
Just watch, like, the compilations on YouTube.
Someone would have just been, like, week 2's dance and go and watch it. They have, like, Dance with the Stars YouTube, where they post it on their Instagrams. Like, that's where I would have done it. I wouldn't have been religiously watching and voting every week if it was Sheena.
Right.
And I think they knew that.
Yeah. So hopefully all of this can finally put a close on the Sheena Dancing with the Stars.
I really doubt it, because she was still talking about it this week.
Yeah, well, whatever.
And in the after show.
Yeah, well, I'm done talking about it.
I'm done talking about it. She's wrong, and that's the end of the story.
Facts. Ariana, to close out that scene too, I guess Ariana was just kind of holding her ground, being like, mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you this thing. Mm-hmm. But also she says in her interview that basically she can see that Sheena is basically preparing to be friends with Sandoval again, and is trying to soften the blow with Ariana.
Yes, 100% agree with that.
She's planting the seeds.
Yes, and it goes back to the fact that they're the same person. So she can't possibly understand not being friends with this person because they've done the same thing. They're the same person. And I agree with Ariana. She's softening the blow, and I think Ariana is seeing that with Lala too.
They're both just trying to keep their lights on and feed their babies,
which is fine. And I had said this many a times. I understand that it is your job, right? We all agree and we all understand that it is your job, but there are some things that transcend a paycheck, and this is one of those things. This is one of those things where the paycheck is not as important as your friend.
Yeah.
If you are so gung-ho that this person is your best friend, right, as Sheena has said time and time again, that Ariana is her best friend, there are certain things that transcend that paycheck. And upholding your best friend's boundaries, who just went through one of the most traumatic things any person could go through ever.
Breakup-wise.
But, like, even in life, like, that deep of a betrayal by two people that were that close to you.
Well, remember, too, we don't want to over-dramatize it. Affairs happen all the time. Nobody died.
Nobody died. But it is something that is very traumatic.
Absolutely.
And I think that you have to take stock of that, and you have to realize that sometimes your paycheck is a little less important than
the mental well-being of your
friend. And honestly, I think the season would have been 10 times more entertaining if we weren't playing into this Tom Sandoval redemption arc. Like, I would be so much more entertained if we were watching these women eviscerate that man every single week. Or just pretending he doesn't exist and going on with their life, talking about their kids and their IV and their IUI, and they're buying their house, and Sheena talking more about her struggles with postpartum OCD, and like something about her and Ariana's business ventures and her book and her new relationship and James, and I would have so much more fun.
Now that you're mentioning it too, we've been getting very little something about her talk all season.
Because they're really,
I know there's
focus is Tom Sandoval.
Yeah, I guess that's fucking true. Like, this guy sucks.
We have like brief little moments where they have talked about something about her, but you can very much see that Alex and Lisa Alex Baskin is the producer.
Yeah.
They very much see that they're pushing so hard into this. They're disregarding everything else.
Like, it's just disgusting.
It's really gross.
And and I said this last night too, the fact that Bravo even keeps this man employed and protected after all this dumb shit that he says. Like, at this point, it's not even about the affair anymore. It's about the way that he's carrying himself post scandal.
It's the person that he is. That's the thing. It took them so long to fire Kristen, Stassi, Jackson, Brittany for the things that they have said off the show.
Like, at that point, too, wasn't Faith off the show for, like,
years? The thing that happened with Faith happened right after she and Jax cheated.
Right, but that was, like, 2 years pre-COVID.
It was, like, years before this firing. It took them that long to do it. So I'm not surprised that they haven't fired Tom Sandoval. But it's showing the misogyny of the network, honestly. It's and the complacency with, you're okay with your cast people being racist. Like, it's like, it's 2024. Like, I know reality TV people are garbage. They're not the best people. And I'll even say that about Katie and Ariana. Like, there's something, if you're on a reality TV show, like, there's something, right? There's something. Granted, those two are probably the best out of everybody on the show, especially Katie. Katie's not.
I feel like it's because they're also the most authentic. They don't necessarily have much going on.
No, and I think also why they're pushing. You can see it in the editing and in the screen time that they are pushing down the two people that are fighting back against it. They're silencing them. They're not talking about something about her. They're not showing their scenes a lot. They're being painted as the villains. They're being painted as the villain. It's very obvious. And it was very obvious last week when they did that compilation of Ariana yelling. And the 3 times that you had her yelling were 3 times where she was highly emotional. One was she was drunk. And the other 2 were after devastating life things where she had every right to be angry. And then you put that up against the one the fan made of Tom Sandoval yelling for 7 minutes straight for the entire run of the show. Like, at least once per episode.
Yeah.
And it's just, the show's making me mad.
And that's probably why we might not get another season after
this. No. I don't, like I said, I as much as I adore this show and I've been watching it for years, I will be very surprised if it gets to season 12.
Yeah. I ended up pulling up a recap of last night's episode just so I wouldn't lose anything. We swapped up. We had like swapped a couple of scenes, but we're pretty on par for how we're doing.
Yeah.
Especially going like straight off the dome. But we have like another.
It's impressive, honestly. We both worked all day. I'm very impressed with our brains right now.
I'm literally brain dead right now.
Oh, dead! Absolutely. We're sharing a brain cell, 100%.
Oh, our singular brain cell is currently at a lot of work right now.
I mean, we're even matching, guys. Do you see? Look at this.
We didn't plan this.
We didn't plan it, no. I woke up and put this on this morning, and then I got here, and I sat down, and I was like, oh, shit, we're fucking matching.
With your blonde hair and my dark hair, we're really pulling some, like, Princess and the Pauper type shit.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I've even got my 90s mom's hair today.
We have another Schwartz and Joe scene. All that really caught my eye this scene was just actually a couple of things.
Wait, what was this scene? Oh,
they went on the little swan bike. Yeah.
Why did that look like a date?
It did look like a date.
It was giving a date, and she got friend zone hardcore.
Well, but here's the thing. I don't think so, because they literally opened the scene with Schwartz in a confessional saying that he could marry Joe today and be happy.
Which was, okay, it's so weird to me. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Because this man is out here being like,
I want to be single.
I want to be single.
But I don't want to be single in 40.
I don't want to be with Joe. Joe's just a good friend.
Joe's
and then
just there.
in your confessional going, yeah, we had sex a month ago. I could see myself. What is it, Schwartzy? What is it?
That man's confused.
When has that man not been confused? Okay, let's think about that. That man is confused.
Mm-hmm. The only other thing that I can think of that was remotely close to like noteworthy of this scene was that
the turtle story.
The what?
The turtle story.
Oh, that was actually a really funny story. I actually have a turtle story via my mom. It's not my own turtle story. It's my mom's turtle story.
I had turtles.
But my mom, so we'll go into it real quick. My mom and my aunt, I guess, when they were little, they had like little turtles and stuff, and they used to race them. And so one day they went to race their turtles, as they did, and they went under the fridge and never came out.
It just like died under the fridge. You didn't think to like take the little vent off the bottom of the fridge to like fish them out?
Probably not. It was the fucking 80s.
Oh, you're right.
Or the 70s, you know, depending on how little they were. But
oh my god, that's hysterical. I know. Imagine someone buying that house, you're redoing your fridge, and the poor fridge movers go to move the fridge, and they're just dead turtle carcasses.
I should reach out to my mom and see what the aftermath of that story was. Hopefully she would remember.
You really should.
But anyways, no, the other noteworthy part of that scene was when Joe had said, I guess, that she reached out to Allie for a reading.
Yes.
And they were planning. I was like, damn, they're really going to make Allie do this.
Poor Allie.
But whatever, as long as her astrology business can get out there, then I guess they have to show her reading some people.
I think Allie is such a sweetheart that, like, she just can't. She's like me. Like, I wouldn't be able to say no. Like, I think you're weird, but, like, okay.
But, like, even when, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but even when they did go on their little reading date, they kind of gelled very nicely.
Sweet.
It was
Allie
actually
was so kind.
I thought it was a decent scene.
Joe was still weird.
She is weird.
I
don't think Joe is necessarily like a bad person.
No, I think
I just think she doesn't fit in with the group.
She doesn't. She's like the female version of Schwartz.
Yes.
And it's just not landing.
I don't like though that she doesn't seem very well kempt and she's a hairdresser.
It blows my mind.
I don't like that.
When they were in, she had the hat with like the side bun thing, and it just looked like her extensions were knotted up.
Joe, girl, you're not ugly, and you seem like a relatively nice-ish girl. Just, fix it up a little bit.
Do your hair.
I know that you like to live on the wild side. I get that vibe from you, but just a little bit, just
as a hairdresser myself, there are days
you always look fabulous as a hairdresser.
Thank you. There are days when my hair's up in a claw clip, but you make it look intentional. Where there are ways to like low maintenance hair day.
Right, but you don't go out there making it look like a whole rat's nest.
No, but that's the difference. Is like if my hair is up, like right, this is my hairstyle for the next like 5 days. Okay, I wash my hair like every 4 days. Right, this tight curls holds me for a while, so I can do a lot with this. By the end of the week, she's gonna be up like this in a little like banana clip. Mm-hmm. But it still looks intentional because the curls are there. Like there are ways to have low maintenance, easy hairstyles to up and go to work. Because bet your ass that I tuck and roll. But like she's not doing that. She looks like a hot mess. Like if that was like I walked into the salon and like that's who my appointment was with, I would be apprehensive. And maybe you know what though, we shouldn't judge. Maybe when she is at work and she is taking clients, she does look more put together. Because when I'm not working, I definitely look like a hot mess, right? No makeup, my hair's in something, right? Like my glasses are on. Like I don't look like a stylist when you're not at work. So give her the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe like because she's not working, she's just not putting in the effort. She'd be a lazy girly like me. But also you're like on camera and you're promoting the fact that you're a hairstylist. If you're going to brand yourself out in the world every single day, you've got to put the work in.
Yeah.
Like you've got it. Like if you're going to walk around with your hair, like Joe does my hair or something like that, like you don't look the part. Because if you're trying to market yourself in the everyday and you're going out in public, you've got to look the part. Mm-hmm. And she just looks like not like her hair does not look like a hairdresser's hair.
Yeah, so that's that scene. Next scene, whole group goes out to a bar and Ariana finally reclaims her power and she shows up with Katie.
I was shooketh.
I remember when that post came out too last summer and everybody was like, oh my god, they're going to the same place. Like,
She did a fabulous job of avoiding him.
He did a fabulous job of obsessing over her, as he usually does.
I mean, did you look at her? She looked fucking fabulous. She looked hot as shit.
Yeah,
okay?
she always does.
She always does. But she looked fucking fantastic. And that nonchalant way that she was about him and the way she was just hugging people and conversing and just acted like he wasn't there. And she said in her confessional, my eyes are not on him, but I can feel his. Mm-hmm. And that was very powerful. That was a boss babe move.
Like, you know that feeling when somebody is just daggers on you.
Daggers. Yeah.
And so, I don't think much really... Oh, I was about to say not really much happened, but then I remembered Sheena was in the scene, so...
She was fucking foaming at the mouth to talk to them.
In a rush to talk to the Toms.
She was so excited to throw herself in there. It's disgusting. Like, you just pick a fucking lane. Pick a fucking lane.
And that was the thing, right? Like, she was really just dying to talk to the two Toms, and then decided she wants to play girl's girl that day, and just decides to be like, oh, you have to put your ego aside. Like, Sheena's trying to fix things. Like, Sheena, what gives you the right to try and fix things right now? This cannot be fixed.
Thank God this is what my point was that I wrote down earlier.
You said it to me last night, so you better make it clear today.
Sheena, party. This was my point. Ariana's point this whole time about not having mutual friends was that Tom would not have access to information from her. Mm-hmm. And she fucking said it to Sheena on that fucking couch, right? You can be friends with him, but I'm not going to give him access to me, right? Through mutual friends. And it was in last week, he found out where Ariana was because of mutual friends, right? And she fucking did it because she called it a sexy single pool party to Sheena. And then Sheena goes and says that to Tom.
Like, regurgitates it right back to them.
She did exactly what Ariana asked her not to do. Do not give that man information about me. Do not tell him what I have said. And she goes and does exactly that. Not even 12 hours after that fucking talk on the couch.
Wild. No boundaries.
Like, that is insane. Your friend says to you, please do not speak of me to him. And then 12 hours later, you're at a fucking bar and you go, yeah, Ariana called it a sexy singles pool party.
And it doesn't matter that you originally were talking about it to Schwartz.
It doesn't matter. Because that information is still getting back to Sandoval.
And you can tell how heated Sandoval was getting in that moment, too. Because he's like, fuck. Like, I thought we were just going to have a regular conversation about anything else.
He doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to take responsibility. And it's evident by the fact that he is so fucking eager to apologize to every single person except for fucking Ariana. Yeah, it's fucking... If you ever needed evidence as to why you should cut this fucking person out, it is right there in that scene. Because she has asked time and time again, do not talk to him. And that's her whole point about not having mutual friends, is that she does not feel safe with this man having information about her life. He has proven to be an unsafe person. And so she is trusting you. And you fucking turn around and essentially backstab her.
Yeah.
And now he's going to know that she said that.
I hope they replay all this shit at the reunion. Just to, like, really, like, sink in
like
the message.
That was what I remembered last night that I wanted to talk about. Because she literally turned around and did exactly what Ariana asked her not to do. And I really need Sheena to stop acting like she wants to be the fucking best friend in the entire world. Because she can say until she's blue in the face that she is everybody's friend. But she is not a fucking friend.
And it's becoming way more apparent, too. Like, you can tell in the after show, Sheena was all like, I don't really hear from her all that much. No fucking wonder why.
You fucking wonder why. And let us not forget that come the after show is also like 3 months ago at this point. They did that in like December, right? Mm-hmm. And Ariana said it last week on
give or take a few episodes now, it seems.
So, and Ariana said it last week that she had not even seen everything until season airing, right? So if at that point she was already not speaking to you, I am super not speaking to you after this. Like, if you haven't seen, I don't think they show everyone all of the clips of the episodes, right? They just show them whatever scene they want them to talk about in the after show, and that's that. But if I'm fucking Ariana, right, and I'm watching this shit, I'm done. And it's a text message it is done. You're dead to me, blocked. Because she and Lala are proving that they are not trustworthy people. And it goes back to my point from earlier of there are things that transcend a fucking paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of them.
Well, I think that we gave Rachel and we gave Tom Sandoval, right, a lot of shit for this particular concept. But, you know, where is the line between real life and just TV show? Right?
You have to have one.
They don't seem to have that.
They don't. And that's why I'm saying, like, Ariana and Katie are, like, the only people that seem to have a line that they're, like, not going to cross. They're like, there are some things that just matter more.
Yeah.
And someone's mental health matters more. You are now risking her safety, mentally, physically, what the fuck ever. But like, you're risking that for what? Screen time? That's more important to you than your best friend who has been so depressed that she was contemplating driving off a fucking bridge. And now you're so pressed that she has money and she's getting opportunities and she went on Dancing with the Stars that
making millions and millions of dollars.
You're going to betray her like that? Betray her like that. And I don't even care that she said it to Schwartz, because saying it to Schwartz is essentially saying it to fucking Sandoval. Okay? Because Schwartzy is going to turn around and say, Ariana called it a sexy singles pool party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fucking betrayal.
And so I'm actually going to basically make this a 2-for-1 because
Okay.
we're ending this scene and then going into the next scene. But of course, you know,
Yes.
Scheana then decides to pull Katie into it too, saying like, you need to apologize to Katie about how you treated her. Da, 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 da. And because Scheana said it, Tom goes, I know now what to do. I have to go infiltrate Katie in order to get to Scheana.
Good fucking luck.
And Katie was not
Oh my
having it.
A fucking iconic. The subreddit was going on. Oh, we were so happy with that scene last night. It was beautiful.
I'm trying to find.
Give me some grace.
Quote.
No. And Tom being fathomless. Oh, it's fathomless?
Sorry.
Yes, sir. It is fathomless. Yeah. The way that he can't even wrap his head around the fact that someone would think something is unforgivable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so she said, and I quote, "It's fathomless to carry on in an affair like that." And he said, "Fathomless? Like, wow, you can't even fathom that happening?" And Katie said, "No, because you know what I did? I walked away from a 12-year marriage when I still loved the person just because I wanted to be happy. I didn't start fucking his friend."
Mic drop. Fucking mic drop.
But I love
Iconic shit.
But I love how he goes, well, we are just two different people. Yeah, obviously.
One of us has a soul and the other does not.
Like, what the fuck were you expecting?
Well, give me some grace.
Did you think that, like, Katie was just going to welcome you in with open arms and just be like, oh my God, Sandoval, I have been waiting for this apology for all this time.
Here's the thing, right? Right, okay. When in the fucking 11 years of this goddamn show has Katie Maloney ever given Tom Sandoval fucking grace?
When has he ever deserved the grace?
Never. But, like, when has it ever been, like...
I said it last week and I will say it again. Katie has usually been the only one to see Tom Sandoval's truest colors from the show's beginning all the way to now.
Stassi and Katie were the only ones, and that's why they
got
so much hate from
And
Tom.
Kristen. Can't forget about Kristen.
The witches of WeHo were the only ones that ever had Tom, and Jax's fucking number. And that is why they hate them so much. Because it's classic narcissist. You hate the person who you cannot trick. That is your worst enemy, is the person that can see through your bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. And Katie can see through their fucking bullshit. And she did it last night.
And that's why he will always hate Katie.
Also, can we talk about how wonderful of a fucking friend she was when Ariana found out he was coming downstairs and she was like, she removed herself, and Katie was like, abso-fucking-lutely. There was no drama. There was no, are you kidding me? I don't want to
There was no yelling.
There was no yelling. There was no, oh, I can't believe you're making me converse with him. Like, it was just abso-fucking-lutely, go upstairs. It was pure friendship protection. It was pure, I'm going to protect my friend. You go upstairs.
Which reminds me.
Oh, I love that. We do that. Yeah.
So not only do Katie and I share the same Aries moon, but we also share the same sun sign. We're both Capricorn sun, Aries moon.
That's right. I gasped like I didn't already know that.
But it just reminded me that because I was like, that's some BDE energy that I try to have.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. You are one of the people I feel most safe with in the entire world.
Because I'm not gonna fucking
No,
just
but that's
butter
what I'm
people
saying.
up.
You and Katie are those kind of people that are a fucking vault.
We're an acquired taste.
See, I don't think so. I think you're wonderful.
You think so?
I do.
People would disagree.
I'm a softie though. I'm just a gentle soul. My sun is Aries, but my rising and my moon is Libra. So I am just I identify as a Libra. I am just a quiet, gentle, soft being who needs protection, and Taylor is my.
It's fun. Well, obviously, everybody who knows a Capricorn knows that the Capricorns can be big softies as long as you are in their core here.
Yeah.
And like you've obviously been in the core since the beginning. So
ride or die, baby.
Ride or die, bitch.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But
cheers.
Yeah, cheers. But I say that Katie, and I've always felt like Katie would be a safe person to be with, and that is something. And I think Ariana and I are very similar in that respect, where our emotional safety is like one of the most important things to us.
I think it helps too with them being business partners as well.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
you guys, they're bonded.
Yes, yes.
Max and I have been rewatching Vanderpump Rules.
Okay.
And we're on season 9, as some of you may know from previous weeks.
The COVID season. Yeah, the COVID season. Yeah. Okay.
And Katie was having her frustrations once again with Schwartz, with Schwartz and Sandy's.
Yeah.
And Schwartz then brings up, we could have done that sandwich shop that you were talking about. And Max's face was like, and I said, yep, that's the sandwich shop. That now Ariana stepped in when Schwartz was being a dickhead, and now we have something about her.
Katie said, "Fuck you! I'm gonna open that goddamn sandwich shop."
Mm-hmm.
I would eat one of their sandwiches.
Still waiting for it to open.
I heard someone said May. But we'll see. The interwebs are fully convinced now that it is not. It is purely a storyline, but I'm holding on to hope.
That's been the theory, though, since the very beginning with something about her.
I'm still holding on to hope that they're going to open their little sandwich shop together.
Well, you know what it is? They probably stopped giving time frames because they're so sick of telling people, it could be around then, it could be around then.
Everyone's like, point of evidence is like, well, they haven't even updated their Instagram bio yet. But like, why would they? They probably have completely forgotten about their Instagram. Because, like, if you're busy trying to open a business and you've already preemptively made your Instagram, I'm not going and checking and updating.
Well, at this point, right, it's really so they can have the handle. Eventually, they'll hire a social media person.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And also, they don't need that specific Instagram account to push their merch.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it still says, I think it still says August 2023 on it or something. And people are like, it still says that. And I'm like, okay.
Well, now we're in April of 2024, so.
Maybe they literally forgot that to even, because sometimes I forget. You know how many times I forget to post fucking work that I do? I have a video sitting in my editing app that I have to do a voiceover for that was from like 2 months ago.
I can't say anything. My whole job is now social media.
But you know what I mean? Like, but like, they probably don't have a social media manager.
No, of course not. Why? But you don't. The thing is, right, you don't need one. Nobody fucking needs to be paying a social media manager. I mean, unless you're like this large establishment, right, where you're not just a singular person. As long as you're like somewhat social media savvy, and you're able to catch like certain trends when they're hot, that's all you need. And you have a platform already, so it's like
that's how us hairstylists do it. I don't have a social media manager. I do it all myself.
Yeah, and also these guys being reality stars are already steps ahead because they can literally make anything that they post go viral. So
exactly,
they have that in their pocket, so they'll be fine. They don't.
I really hope their shop opens. I'm really rooting for them. Ariana's run in Chicago does end
April 7th
in a couple weeks. Very sad that I could not go.
Same.
I tried, but I'm a poor hoe. I already spent my fun money on race car tickets.
So you prioritized.
I fucking did. Okay, I haven't seen a race since 2019. All right, it was race cars. Okay, love Ariana, love you. But I've seen Chicago twice already. Granted, yes. Okay, the race I'm going to, I have been to like 5 times. but I need to go.
She roasted somebody in comments.
Yes.
You saw that?
Yes, I did. And I agree with her roasting because as a former theater girly, right, I'm a fully trained film and television girl, okay? I agree with that because that shit is fucking distracting. And I don't you can record a video of a Broadway show without your fucking flash being on.
Yeah, like you don't have to be so sus about it. I went to see Aladdin once, like years ago for my birthday.
Beautiful musical.
I loved it so much. I still
so good.
still really want to go back.
To do a musical.
I want to go back so badly.
I was so sad.
Much.
I wanted to see it with the original cast because the voice of Jafar from the original movie played him on Broadway. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, the original cast. I love this. The original cast of Aladdin on Broadway. The guy who played Jafar.
So you're telling me that I went and saw, because I went back in it was still fairly new. I want to say I went for my birthday in 20. I was out of college already, 20, maybe 18, 19.
Aww,
one of those days.
A baby, yeah. Stop. I say that like I'm not only just 2 years older.
But I say all this because some asshole felt the need. I want to say it was during the part of your world scene, and fucking some idiot in the middle fucking section decides they're gonna turn their fucking flash on to record shit, and everybody saw that shit.
This is the thing. It is incredibly distracting from the people. I've been on the stage, okay? I have done it where people are recording and that flash is in your fucking eye because it is different.
That shit hurts.
It's coming at you from a different angle. Like stage lights come at you from here or they come at you from straight back. But usually when they come at you from back in the audience, it's still at an angle. So it's hitting you in a way that it's not really blinding. It's still blinding. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But it's coming at you in a way that's not distracting. You're used to it. But a random fucking flashlight from the fucking orchestra is distracting as shit. So Ariana calling that person out is justified.
Yeah.
Because it is incredibly distracting when somebody is, one, illegally recording your production, and two, doing it with the flash on. And let's be honest, Broadway shows are not that dark, okay? Once the stage lights are on and the show is going, it's very bright, and you can record a video without needing the flash on. But also, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. It's against union rules, okay? Let's respect their jobs.
Yeah.
Let's respect their jobs, okay? Ariana is slaying. And as much as I enjoy the clips of her singing her songs, and I think she is incredibly talented and so beautiful on stage, and she is absolutely killing it, as Katie said in her review a couple days ago when she saw it. Let's not record her, guys. It's not fair to her. It is not fair to the rest of the cast.
Also, you're going to see a Broadway show, so you can put your fucking phone away.
No one fucking rules! I swear to God, people don't know theater etiquette anymore.
Well, it's not even just about theater etiquette at this point. It's the fact that you're there to watch something other than what's going on your fucking Instagram for a change.
All right, I was on a Broadway tangent. I don't even know what it was now. Let's just go.
Well, yes, we're basically getting to the last scene of this entire episode, and Schwartz organizes the segue, which was Jax returning to Vanderpump Rules so that we can do the segue into the valley and shit, all that shit that we don't care about.
That was a very loaded sigh.
The whole scene just couldn't have been more staged.
Painful. I feel bad for Brock is his name. Brock. The Prosecco is getting to me. Brock. I feel bad for Brock for being there. I will say, though...
I don't, because the whole thing was fucking scripted and fake anyway.
Yes, I will say, though, that as much as I despise, and I say that with my whole chest, as much as I despise fucking Jason Couchy, the way he read Thomas Sandoval was beautiful.
No, I don't buy it. I
think it was great.
I think
it was great.
It would have been great if it were fucking real. And
here's
why
I agree with that.
It was not.
Because of the transition.
Well, no, not even because of the transition. Yes, partly, but not really. No, because and who's to say, this conversation probably could have gone on for 45 minutes. It could have gone on for an hour. I don't really know. But the fact that they edited it to make it look like he read him for filth and then all of a sudden was just like, "Okay, come here, friend." Like,
oh.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It was really gross. That whole scene was gross. I hate Anytime Tom Sandoval is on my TV screen, I have great disdain for him. And I absolutely fucking hate Jax Taylor. He's garbage. His wife is garbage. Anyone who associates with him is garbage. His son, gorgeous, beautiful, lovely child. Bad parentage, but that's not his fault. I kind of blacked out. Once Jax Taylor's on my screen, I'm just like, fuck you, bye.
I took a quick pause because I needed to take a shower and
Yes,
I just didn't care for the scene. But
no, there was nothing worthy of that scene. That scene was so very clearly, we're going to the valley now, and it was exactly what I said it was going to be on episode 1 of Pumped Up Tea. I said they were going to transition from the episode to the valley. He was going to get in his car and go home to his house. And mind you, I turned the show off when he got in the car. But I'm probably right about what transition was. He got in his car and he went home to his wife and child.
The way that they did the transition was they actually had him in like the VPR confessional room.
Yes, I saw that, and he like got up and then he walked to like the valley's confessional, and then he was like getting in the car, and that's when I turned it off. Yeah,
he went from like one chair to another chair, and like
I contemplated because I was watching it with Mom, and Mom and I were contemplating the entire Vanderpump episode of watching the valley, but I just couldn't stomach watching Jax Taylor, especially after his comment of, I got fired for my ego. Sir, that is not why you got fired.
I took one for the team and I watched it.
She did. She took one for the team. Ugh. Which I appreciate vastly because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. If it was just Kristen Doty, I'd be all about that shit.
You know, Jax Taylor was really fucking annoying this entire episode, and I'll go into why, but episode 1 of The Valley was basically just the introduction of all the couples, Kristen and Luke, Jax and Brittany, obviously. Oh God, I'm gonna do my best here to remember everybody else's names.
The girl that worked at SUR that did the picture with Peter, but they blocked Peter's face out.
I'm going to her last because she's not even technically a part of the main cast.
Justice for Peter.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a second, but there was I think Nia and Jesse, who by the way are also separating post filming, so there's that. Janet.
Great idea for a show, bravo.
Janet and whatever her husband's name is that I forgot, that's one of Sheena's friends who has been a part of seasons ago and likes threesomes and with Max and Brett. And
I think she's been on the show before.
She has been a couple of times.
All right, so they're all like Vanderpump adjacent.
They're all Vanderpump adjacent. One girl, which is Jasmine, is actually from the Bachelor franchise. I don't know. I wasn't watching at that time, so I couldn't tell you what role she played or who season it was. I have no idea.
Not to segue, but like I have been having TikToks of the Women Tell All special. Jesus Christ.
It actually was a good one.
The fucking drama. I'm going to binge watch it so bad right now.
It's pretty good.
All right, continue. I'm sorry.
I feel like I could be missing another couple. I don't really know, and nor do I really care. Sheena and Brock.
They were on it?
Yeah, briefly. Lala was in it.
Gross.
And oh my God, Jasmine, and then Brittany's hometown friend, Zach.
That's how I know that man.
Yes. Like when Jax cheated on Brittany and Brittany went back home, she went to go see Zach.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
The entire time that they've been showing previews, I've looked at that man and I was like, how do I know him?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So that's everybody, I'm pretty sure. Most of the people in here are married with kids and are pregnant with kids or are trying to get pregnant with kids. And that's the whole premise of what the Valley is supposed to be about.
And then it just erupts into 40-year-olds binge drinking and yelling at each other?
That too. But
okay.
This first episode basically just surrounds Brittany throwing a giant decked out birthday party for Janet, who is pregnant with, I believe, her first child with her husband, whose name I still don't remember.
I'll Google that for you.
And it turned into just, again, grown men in their 40s. Separation between Jesse and Nia were already being discussed. Like, it's the first episode. So, obviously, this separation was coming.
Their I can't spell. Their separation is like episode 1?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, it's brought up in conversation, but it just was not actively happening yet.
Janet and Jason they're not married yet.
What?
On the season premiere of The Valley, Janet and Jason aren't married yet. aren't yet married, but in real life, they've been married for some time. According to Janet's Instagram, she and Jason got married on June 12th, 2022, which was the date of her grandparents' 73rd wedding anniversary. Aww.
Oh, that's nice. Congratulations.
Wait, so if they aren't married yet, when the fuck did they? That timeline doesn't make sense.
I don't fucking know, dude. But
like
whatever. They've been together forever, so I'll give them a pass.
Jason. There's a lot of J's.
Yeah.
Jax, Jason, Janet, Jasmine.
Oh, I am missing a couple, but I don't remember their names.
I'll Google it.
Fuck, dude. I'm doing so bad. I might have even swapped a couple for all I know. I'm so tired, guys. But so they have a birthday party. Sheena and Lala show up, but most of the episode is really Jax just talking a lot of shit about Kristen, and Kristen, because the whole episode again surrounds Kristen wanting to get pregnant with her boyfriend Luke.
Okay,
and apparently Luke and her have only been dating since like 2022.
I mean, that's it. We're in 2023 when they filmed, so that's not
a long time.
And it's not a long time, but it's not a short time.
It's not a short
it's been
time.
At least a year.
But it's definitely a short time to want a child with that person. But given Kristen's age, I guess they had already had a miscarriage. You know, it's sad. So I get it. She just probably wants to be a parent at this point. Everybody else around her is having babies, so.
Okay, it is Brittany, Jax, Kristen, and Luke, Jesse and Michelle, Danny and Nia, Jason and Janet, Jasmine, and Zach.
I've done fucked up. So it's Michelle and Jesse that are separating.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, it told me that right here.
Yes.
The Valley hints Jesse and Michelle Lally were headed for separation.
Yeah.
Meet the cast. Who's who in Vanderpump Rules spinoff?
Yeah. So Jesse is also Jesse. Fuck, I'm gonna get really confused on these J names.
It's all right.
Jax just spews the entire time how Kristen's not ready and that Kristen, you know, should really think about wanting to have a baby with a guy who doesn't fully technically live with her yet, because I guess they're doing the long distance thing. He's from Colorado and still has his main residency in Colorado. He just stayed with Kristen for the summer so they could film this show.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think Jax is kind of just like on the side of the fuck's good here. Paired with this gives me something to talk about for the whole fucking season.
I really don't think Jax Taylor should be giving parenting and or relationship advice.
Well, the issue then becomes, right, there's a whole bunch of men trying to tell a woman what she should do with her body when she should be ready to have a child.
Look at the fucking eye roll from my goddamn fucking face.
He was dead. Jax was dead ass just trying to be like, why are you having a kid out of wedlock? And it's like,
fuck off, bro!
Who are you, dude? Didn't you get a bitch pregnant in Vegas, like when you were dating Stassi?
I wonder whatever happened with that.
Right? Did she abort the kid? Do we know what happened to this kid?
I would.
Is there another little couchy kid just running around somewhere that we don't know about?
Does Cruz have a sibling? I'm getting a little. The Prosecco is hit, guys.
Oh, which reminds me of more tea.
Okay. This is a very chaotic episode, and I kind of love it.
I know. Jax was videotaped at the Valley premiere party last night at
talking about my queen, Katie Maloney. Yes, I know.
And it's crazy because he has so much bad shit to say about Katie. He always hates Katie, but he puts all this energy towards Katie as if Katie was the one starting these cheating rumors, but like she's not.
Sheena said it. Lala said it. The internet has said it.
Like the rumors are coming to her. And she is just simply talking about it with other people that this rumor was brought to.
The interwebs have been talking about it for months. I have been part of the conversation on the Blocked by Jack subreddit for months. It is showing he's just trash.
Well, I think everybody is on the same page here for the most part. That, like, I know Jax and Brittany swear that he hasn't been cheating, but you mean to tell me that
Bullshit.
Man who would fuck a squirrel
Bullshit.
if it had a pussy would be going celibate right now?
Bullshit. I said this to you. I believe it was last week. I say a lot of things to her. I guarantee you that he is picking up girls in his little pop-up bar. fucking them in his car, in the bathroom, in the back alley.
It wouldn't be so
in
out
the
of this
house
world in the bathroom.
because she's not living in the house. In the house, and then letting him go. I don't think he has a mistress. I don't think he has the smarts to carry a mistress.
Well, he knows better than to go. He's not gonna keep stringing along one particular.
That's what I'm
girl.
saying. He is not. It is not. We're like, I hate saying this, but Tom is smart enough to have one singular mistress and be able to hide it, and because he did successfully for 7 months. Jax is not that smart. Jax also does not have the mental capacity to care about anyone but himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually surprised he even has enough capacity to care about his son. He does not have it in him to have a mistress. So I guarantee you that man is just whatever girl in that bar is giving him fuck me eyes that night is who he's in the bathroom of that bar. There is absolutely no way, like you said, that man is celibate when she. Also, the way that Brittany was just so open to say that, like, Jax doesn't find me attractive anymore. We don't have sex. Like, I would never. You could not get
Part
that
of me
information
thinks
out of
that,
me.
like, she knows that she's been cheating, and
She's
she's
not
just
that
saying
dumb.
and she's just saying these things to, like, I don't know.
There is no way that walking STD is not having sex with girls in his bar. Okay, that man does not dabble in monogamy, and I've said this before about. I think it was Jax. It could have been Tom Sandoval. I don't know. I'm a little tipsy right now, guys. It's okay. If you don't want to be monogamous, that is absolutely 100% okay. You can be in a non-monogamous relationship. And if that's the road that you want to go down, the more power to you, right? You be polyamorous. You do whatever you want to do, but don't get married and be in a monogamous relationship if you can't be monogamous. If you have an incapability of committing to one woman or man, whatever you want, for the rest of your life, don't fucking do it because it's not fair to that person because Brittany is monogamous. And if you're at the point where you're not attracted to your wife anymore, instead of dipping your dick in whatever is going to take you that night, how about go to fucking couples therapy?
I still
think about your son.
I just don't get how, like, it's good on them that they're able to co-parent and stuff, but, like, it's
I
still
really doubt they're co-parenting.
It's still so hard to believe that their separation is real because they're still doing all of these appearances together, and they're like,
okay, well, in regards to the appearances, that they probably can't get out of that.
Some of the stuff, though, at his bar, I feel like she could easily get out of.
Was she at the premiere party last night?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why I said this to you last week, that it is believable and unbelievable. It is believable that she would be done for the sake of her son, and it is unbelievable that she would ever leave that man, because if you're not going to leave him after hearing a recording of him talking shit about you after fucking another woman, I don't think that she would ever leave him for anything else.
Yeah. One other thing, too, because I know I've been just bouncing back and forth from topic to topic.
It's fine. Guys, you love us. It's fine.
Supposedly, Luke and Jax have been having some weird feud going on. And Luke had asked Jax at one point during the episode, like, I guess all the guys went to go do, like, top golf things.
Jack loves his golf, yeah.
Yep. And so Luke basically just hits it right away first and goes, like, so Jax, am I still blocked? And he goes, I don't know. Are you blocked? He's like, I don't know. You tell me, because, I saw that you had me blocked. And he's like, oh, well, check and let me know, and I'll do my best to unblock you. Bitch, what? I'll do my best to unblock you? How old are you? Fucking 5? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Like,
what the fuck is that?
I'll do my best to unblock
you. No, do my best to unblock you. Oh my, I'm dead. I'm like,
am I listening to 40-year-old men have this conversation?
Jax turned 40. Let's remember
5 years ago.
He's 45 years old, okay? He's 45 years old. I can't.
He's so gross.
I can't. It is none of your fucking business what another couple is doing.
Yeah. So the whole rest of the episode, Jax just finds literally anybody and everybody to talk to for the whole remainder of the episode about Kristen.
He can't be alone with his wife. He doesn't know what to talk about.
Yeah, and how she's not ready to have kids, and how she shouldn't be having kids. And
not your fucking business. Not your uterus. Not your business.
Yeah, not your uterus.
If
not your
Luke
business.
and Kristen feel that they are ready to have a child, then they are ready to have a child.
Yeah. So this episode was very on par to what Jax has been saying about Kristen in Alex Baskin podcast, actually, just last week.
Fuck that guy.
And yeah, well, fuck him for different reasons, but but yeah, he had Jax and Brittany on his podcast or whatever. He talked a whole load of shit about Kristen.
Is he the producer for The Valley?
Probably.
I'm gonna look it up.
More than likely.
And I know, this is off topic, I know that he's not related to Carol Baskin, but every time it says Baskin, I just think of the TikTok song from 2020 quarantine, Carol Baskin. Remember that Tiger King song?
That bitch, Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
Yeah.
That's what I think of every time I hear Alex Baskin.
Yeah. So. And that's and then the episode ended with Jax pulling down one of the guy's pants, whose names I always forget. But
he is also Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Who?
Alex.
Executive.
Executive
That
producer.
makes sense. That tracks.
It does not specifically say The Valley, but I'm gonna go off on a limb and say he does OC. It looks like he does OC, Beverly Hills, Vanderpump, and The Valley. All the California ones.
But yeah, that's my recap of The Valley. Not much has really happened. We're gonna get a lot of drama coming up this season, so like maybe I'll keep watching. If the interest is there. I know we're gonna get weekly sneak peeks like we do with Vanderpump. So
yes.
But yeah, I mean, Sheena and Lala being in this episode and Brock just is a clear indicator of obviously, you know, they're gonna make that shift. So it's not like their lives are over when Vanderpump ends.
No, and I don't think that they are, but I think that you should be a little more conscious of, because it is not like there's a difference between being a reality star and being a reality TV star is different than a TV star. A TV star is an actor in multiple TV shows.
With many networks.
Right? Or you have a recurring role on one singular show, right? A TV actor is different than a reality TV actor. A reality TV actor has absolutely no guarantee, right? You don't get syndication in the same way that a normal TV star does, right? So I think you should be a little more conscious of where you're spending your money and putting your money and houses you're buying and things like that, because like a actual actor, when that show ends, they can get on another show, especially if the show they were just on was successful, right? Especially when you think of like Netflix people or like ABC show people. Like how many people have been on SVU and then gone on to be on like Grey's Anatomy or vice versa?
Oh my God, so many.
That's what I'm saying. So like as a TV actor, you have more room and a little bit bigger of a parachute to fall on.
Range, yeah.
You have a little more range. You go from one show, that show ends, and you hop on another show, or you hop on this movie set, or you do like this, right? Like actual actors have a little more room than a reality show star. Said reality show ends, and you don't have anything after that. There is nothing, you know? And like, so I get a little apprehensive about like Lala buying this giant house when she already has another house in Palm Springs, because what are you going to do when the show ends? And what if the Valley doesn't get picked up again? And what if you don't get on the Valley, right? People are going to eventually forget about your reality show, right? Like if you think I was a big Hills girl back in my youth, right? And I can guarantee you, I didn't think about it until this very moment. You don't think about those people anymore. So if you don't have anything else to fall back on, what the fuck are you going to do? You know, it's not the same. And I feel like sometimes they forget that the difference in their fame level. You know what I mean? Like they're not out here like on my favorite show, The Rookie. They're on a Bravo show. Right. And the most they're going to get is a crossover to like Below Deck, right? Because Housewives have dabbled in Below Deck episodes. But even they can't really afford a Below Deck episode. To charter a yacht on Below Deck is like $30,000.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it's insane. I love that show. But like you know what I'm saying? Like it's the same with Jax and Brittany and all the Valley people. Like they all obviously have jobs outside of, well, except for Jax and Brittany, but they all obviously have jobs outside of this realm because they can't afford this lifestyle if they don't have something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Vanderpump people tend to forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Where like Ariana, I have absolutely no doubt, should Vanderpump ends, that she is going to get other things. Right?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. But she also has a full-ass theater degree. And she's proving her worth. So I could see her going on another Broadway show or an off-Broadway show or being able to do another Lifetime movie. There are avenues for her, right? They have the sandwich shop, which I really hope opens because that's another avenue of revenue for them.
Yeah.
But like these podcasts that they have, as much as and we all listen to them now,
we're not going to be listening to them forever.
I give you, and it's the same with any show. Once a show is off air for a couple of years, you forget it exists. Mm-hmm. And you stop following the people that were in it. You stop doing for the content that was in it. And it's no different for something like this. Mm-hmm. Like, we are going to follow Vanderpump Rules, and then eventually it's just going to fall off because no one cares anymore. I forget the original point of this rant that I went on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this was our recap. Episode 8 of Vanderpump Rules, episode 1 of The Valley have been recapped. I keep meaning to do this in the beginning of the episode, and yet I always forget until the end. But if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram at PumpedUpT, join our Patreon, and now
we have a TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok. PumpedUpT.
I got very excited when I saw that notification the other day. She tagged me in one, and I was like, it exists. I
know. We are finally on TikTok. I know. It was a battle, but we finally got there.
We got it. Yeah, we're on all the socials now, guys.
All the socials that matter, at least.
All the socials that matter. Follow us. Love us. Give us your opinions. I've been looking at our Instagram story today. A lot of you have some great opinions.
Yeah, please keep on leaving comments. I know that our Instagram has been growing pretty quickly. We're not obviously like fucking at like 100,000 followers or nothing like that. We're just at like a measly 80, but it's still, you know, we've been at this for like 7 weeks now. Yeah. So, you know,
we literally came up with this 24 hours before the episode aired.
Literally, though. So. Not even, because it was like almost 10 o'clock. And I'm like,
that's true.
You want to do this podcast?
She Snapchatted me at like 8 o'clock at night. She's like, because I said, am I coming over to your house tomorrow to watch the episode? And she said, fuck yeah. And then an hour later, she goes, do you want to do a podcast? And I said, fuck yeah.
Like, I know we talked about it like 500 times before.
We've talked about it in like a scope of like 5 different areas of which we could do a podcast.
Well, as soon as you said yes, I overnighted the mic, and then I overnighted other stuff, and it was just so
here we are.
But
in the podcast sphere, I almost said vlogosphere, but we're not a vlog.
But yeah, follow us on the socials, leave us some comments, shoot us a DM. You know, we love chatting with you.
We do.
And
I don't actually chat with you. It's Taylor, but
well, yeah, it is technically me. But we've been having some great chats. I actually need to get back in touch with another podcaster so we can get our schedules aligned and we can record together. So we have that in the works, and that's where we're at so far. Yeah. I'm exhausted. I need to go to bed.
She does.
So thank y'all, and
bye,
love
guys.
You.
We love you. Have a good rest of your week, weekend, whatever it is. Okay, bye.